think we're good. I think we're up and running here.
I got a waiting signal.
This thing on? I think we're good. All right. Wow, this is exciting. So here we go. All right. First things first. I'm Craig Peterson, known around the rinks as PD. Quite put it simply there. Been involved with Michigan high school hockey in some capacity, one way or another, for the better decade now, whether it be as a player, as a coach, for a couple teams actually too, and then obviously this endeavor as well from a media standpoint and kind of covering players and teams and things like that. I was pretty active last year on Twitter, interacting, providing commentary and coverage of big games, big time players, things like that, and it was great. It was good to connect with coaches, connect with players and parents, and hear from people all over the state. And I was humbled by how many people kind of bought in and supported what I was doing. It was exciting. So with a long off season, obviously a lot of time to think about it too, and wanted to continue promoting our game and promoting high school hockey because it's very much a product that I believe in. And looking for new ways to connect and continue spreading all the good things that are happening in high school hockey. And that kind of spawned into launching the Instagram account at pds.pics, and then obviously the subsequent YouTube channel here. So you can subscribe here. You can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Send me your highlights, send me your players to watch, big games coming up, anything that's going on, even with a short season. I'm pretty confident that it can be a pretty exciting season to talk about too. So very available on that. You want to hit me up on all the socials. More than welcome and love to talk high school hockey really with anyone about anything, all about it. So last 12 months, obviously, have been anything but normal. I actually wrestled with this list for a while and wasn't the first time. I was ready to unveil it on a Monday, and that Sunday before is actually when the season got put on pause. Timing just didn't feel right. It didn't seem appropriate there to kind of put out the list while everything was going on with the pause. But the longer this has gone on, I think it's an absolute need. One, just for some positive, something to be excited about in terms of high school hockey. I think there's value in it for scouts that are looking to identify some of those top players, which has obviously been a bit of a struggle the last couple months with us not actually being on the ice. I think things like this could help scouts at the next level and coaches and things like that kind of help identify who some of those top players are in our sport without actually those games going on. So that and hopefully here in 2 weeks we get the green light for some games, generate some buzz, get people talking, as we lead up to puck drop here. Before I really get going here, I did want to take a minute and give a shout out to Mark Ewell and Cody Inglis with the MHSAA. I think early on when everything was going on, it was easy to make the MHSAA out to be the bad guys for cancellations of the playoffs last year and delays and postponements and everything going on with all the sports, not just hockey. But what I've seen out of the MHSAA in the last 4 months is some of the most progressive, innovative, forward-thinking I've ever seen out of them. They've been very adaptive and open to ideas, changing things that wouldn't have ever been considered otherwise. I don't know how many people know about the history of high school hockey and things like that, but it took us 10 years for the MHSAA to finally agree and settle upon some form of seeding in the hockey playoffs. And then there was a lot of kinks and things that needed to be ironed out. But, you fast forward to now and just in the last few weeks, ideas were considered, approved, not just considered, but approved for this season, like, multiple games on one day and playing 4 games in a week, social distance practices just so we can get back on the ice this past weekend. Little things like that, I think, have gone a long way. And so I just want to acknowledge that and commend them for their efforts because, because I think that goes a long way in our current climate, and also moving forward into the future, could continue to make high school hockey a better product. Kudos to them. Looking forward to the future. Definitely exciting there. So now for the list. All right. Little criteria here. Foremost, I trust what I see with my own eyes. I watched almost 100 games last year. Dropped in on the MDHL over the fall on several occasions. I streamed the MHA games in the tournaments and showcases that they were at during the fall as well. I coached in the Elite Brigade League, so I got to see a lot of players that way too. I really just try to watch as many kids and as many teams for myself as I can. And then obviously with a lot of scouts and evaluators, who the best all-around players are in terms of skill level, ability, value to their team, and how they project out at the next level as a prospect, are all things that goes into, my thoughts in kind of putting this list together in the first place. There's 10, 12, maybe even 15 guys every year in high school hockey, I think, that project out as a potential North American Hockey League prospect. But there's dozens of others that could be a good fit at the Go JHL, the No JHL, the USPHL, NA3. There's a lot of other leagues out there that there's plenty of prospects at the high school level that would be a good fit there at different junior leagues. I mean, the CCHL and the AJHL are two of my personal favorites. And I'd just like to see, us as a whole educated on the next level and knowing what other junior options are, because everybody is a perfect fit for one certain league. There's a lot of ACHA caliber players as well, and a decent amount of coaches who have reached out to me and to others and looking for players at that level as well. So this isn't just about the stat lines to me. Your goals and your points are only a part of the equation. I'm looking for excuse me, sorry. I'm looking for all around players that play the game the right way, who play as hard defensively as they do offensively. Are you a floater or do you back check? Do you go hard in the area? Do you go in the hard areas, or are you more of a perimeter player? Those are all things I kind of tend to look for there. Whew, this is getting a little long-winded here. I'm running out of steam. Already. We're only 8 minutes in. And just forewarning, this could be 5 minutes. This could be 25 minutes. I want to talk about a lot of different players here, and I'll hit on that. I don't really have a set schedule, but we'll just kind of go with it. And like I said, if it's short and I'm done, then so be it. But if it runs a little long, that's great too. So okay here. I love the fall league when it comes to assessing players and skill level and ability, because everyone's put on an even playing field. I hear it all the time. Oh, so-and-so, if they played for a different team, they'd be all state. Or, if I played that team's schedule, I'd put up 50 goals. I just hear a lot of that when it comes to comparing apples and oranges during the winter season. And that's why I like fall, because it puts everybody on an even playing field, and you really get to assess the individual player, not just the top kid on the top team or a top kid on a middling team, that type of thing. So yeah, with that said, we'll get into the list here. I know everybody's been waiting patiently for that, so let me get this going here real quick. What am I gonna do here? Hang on, I just want to make this big screen. There we go. Okay, so if I do this is all new to me, folks, so bear with me here. All right, I think that worked. All right, so I gotta keep a couple windows open here if I'm gonna make this work. Bear with me. All right, this is awesome, by the way. Holy crap, this live stuff, this is wild. Okay, so let's see if I go over here. All right, here we go. Starting with 100 through 91. Couple names that stand out to me here. Number 99, Ethan Coterie. I think I'm saying that right. Apologies if I'm not, buddy. He was listed as a forward and a D last year, did a little bit of everything, just a real hard, work hard type and can be a real pest on the pucks. Really like him out of the SEC. Number 97, Ethan Barrowski. Watched a couple games last year, flexed his speed a couple times, getting up and down the ice, leading the offensive rush, and he can really snap some shots off too. So really jumps out to you on film, and that's always exciting. Another big one here, number 94, Austin Combs checking in from Milford. Saw him a couple times this fall. Got a little bit lost in the shuffle, I thought, but I know the guys in the Lakes Valley Conference love him. He'll be ripe for a big season for sure. And then number 93, last one here, Nick Temple, big, strong kid. Foot speed needs a little bit of work, but he's got a heavy shot and has the potential to round out into a really nice defenseman moving forward. And just a junior too here. So moving along here, we go into the 80s. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. That's a little tough. I got to make sure this is working. Are we getting comments too? I'm not really following this. Here we go. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Here we go. All right. Into the 80s. First one, I know he's in the 90s, but he's on the 80s slide here. Ryan Galligan, kid who caught my eye late last year. Tall, lanky, but he skates pretty well, moves the puck fluidly. I think he could turn some heads around the state if he has a strong senior year here. But one, like I said, really caught my attention late last year and want to see more of him for sure. Number 86, Ryan Herzog. Downriver folks love this kid, and for good reason. He's a scrappy player. Watched him a couple times in the MDHL this fall. I thought he started out this season a little bit rusty, but every time I watched him, he got a little bit better each time. So that's definitely encouraging to see him progress as the season wears on. Number 84, Cam Markham, the only sophomore to make the list here. He was very impressive as a freshman year. Very mature game, super bright future, leading the way among the class of 2023, and for good reason. I can't wait to see what he does in year two. I think you see the biggest jumps in development at the high school level between your first and second year. So really have an eye on him up in the UP to see how he does here as his for his sophomore year. Moving along here. Oh, this feels like a work presentation or something, like I'm being graded, or I don't know. This is a lot here. I think it's working. I think we're doing all right, though. I've never done this live studio thing, but I think it's working out all right. I got a couple monitors here. There's like 93 people watching. Holy crap! Can't say I was really expecting that. I thought I'd maybe have one or two, and they'd be my guys. So that's exciting. Cool. We'll keep moving here though into the 70s. Number 79, Ethan Bond. This is a kid I really like him a lot. Really good size, and he works his buff. I think he's got a really big frame. Not too flashy. Doesn't try to overdo anything or anything like that. And I don't know that his style really jumps out at you in the stands. But he's a really effective player that if you really pay attention to his game, you'll see the subtleties in it, impactful he can be. And to me, I think that, he could play on any team in the state with a skill set like that, right? Every team's going to have a wow. I need a co-host. I can't talk this straight for this long. But yeah, moving on here. Number 75, we'll go Cameron Dunn. Some really, really nice moments in the fall, I thought. He was patient with the puck. He had his head up. He was making smart plays, and it led to a lot of his MDHL team. For Woe this season, I think it'll be a big senior campaign for him. So definitely keep your eye out for that. Here we go. Moving along into the 60s. I'm going to tap that a couple times for it to finally go through there. Here. Number 64, Chad Noetzel. One of my favorite, I'll call him a find, I guess, from last season. I'm sure people on the east side know him very well. But like I said, he was one I didn't know much about, and watching them last season kind of caught my eye for sure. Oh, wow. Am I off here? No, I'm good. 64. Okay. Oh, wow. I thought I was off for a second. All right. So yeah, Chad Noetzel. You know, he's a kid who can play on my team any day. To be honest with you, just the way he plays, you know, his feet never stop moving. He's buzzing all over. I think he first caught my attention at the Alphabet Showcase last year, the MIHLKLAA Showcase. He's an absolute must-have attribute if you're going to have success on the ice is the way he plays. You know, just constantly moving his feet. Number 63, Jamie Newton, really good when he has time and space. I'd like to see him get a bit grittier and stronger on pucks along the walls and playing in tight quarters. But nonetheless, good things tend to happen when he has the puck on his stick. And then last one here, number 61, Bobby Desi. I can't claim to know a ton about this kid. He missed most of the fall, I think, with an injury. But I do know a lot of coaches love him. A lot of coaches like him. And where there's smoke, there's fire. So I can't wait to see and see what he does here moving forward. So, all right, here we go. Into the 50s. I got the 50s. There we go. 50s. A lot of guys I like here. This is exciting. So here we go. Number 60, Devin Grayshaw, real quick, has like one of the heaviest shots I've ever seen in high school hockey. Just an absolute cannon. Probably, you know, he'll probably be Salem's go-to guy as far as offense. So I could see, you know, almost like an Alex Ovechkin type where people are just constantly feeding him pucks and he's just teeing off in the offensive zone. So definitely one to watch out for there. West Side guys love number 58, Garrett Walker. So the answer to the question, who's the best goalie in the state, I think is wide open this year. I don't see any clear-cut answer. There's a lot of guys in contention for that, and a lot of, like, you know, in that tier there. So he's got great numbers, and I think Walker is definitely in the mix there for that title in 2021 here. Number 53. Oh, all right, let me take a drink here. I'm getting a little squeaky. That's a little rough. All right, we'll see if that helps any. All right, so number 53, Colin Leduc. Another find from last year. I just loved watching him play. To me, he was Dakota's best and most effective player as a sophomore. You know, they had a couple really good players and really good players that were impactful. But to me, he stood out every time. It seems like just doing the little things right. You know, I liked him in the middle. He was constantly moving his feet. He was in good position. And he produced offense too, so a lot to like there. Number 51, 51, Matt Mogul. Very similar to Leduc, I think. Not super imposing size-wise, but it doesn't matter when you have a motor like that. I would love to see him pursue hockey at the next level, you know, past high school and beyond. But you know, if I had to guess, I know Lumen. I know the middle of the state pretty well. If I know the Lumen kids well, he's at least a dual sport, if not a tri-sport athlete. I can't confirm that, but I'll guess he's probably a football player and I don't know, I'll guess baseball maybe. But nonetheless, definitely capable of playing junior hockey in some capacity if that's what he wants. So here we go. Here, moving into the 40s. We good? There we go. Into the 40s. A couple kids actually got the opportunity to coach pretty recently. Number 48, Matthew Witt, coach's kid, great mentality, constantly looking for ways to get better. You know, if you give him if you give him an open look, he's going to make you pay for sure. He's a good finisher. So another one here, number 45, Blake Nowak. Absolutely stole a couple games for the MHA U18s this fall and really showed out well at a couple of their showcases and tournaments. And never really felt like he was standing on his head either. Just very calm presence in net, stays square, makes a lot of saves look routine. And honestly, I feel like it made the guys in front of him play more relaxed too, because he was never scrambling. He was never all over the place. It really made everybody calm down a little bit and just, you know, play cool, calm hockey. Number 42, Doug Wood, a guy I've been buzzing about since his freshman year. He can produce offensively. There's no doubt about it. Puck skills are off the charts. I just need to see a little bit more defensively, skating without the puck, for him to kind of take his game to the next level there. But very high end, high upside there offensively. Now, here we go. We got the 30s. There we go. There we go. It's a little bit delayed. I don't know if I like that, but here's what it is. Here we go. In the 30s, number 39, Alec Hamidi. Hamidi? Sorry, buddy. I'm going to go with Hamidi. Hopefully I'm right. I like his defensive skills. Offense, I don't think he'll wow you with big numbers or flashy goals, but so much value in his ability to provide back pressure, play passing lanes, force a bunch of turnovers. To me, he's the kind of guy you match up against the opponent's top line and you just say, shut him down. I think those are the pretty popular players come playoff time in the NHL, and it's the big matchups like Dubinsky a couple years ago for the Blue Jackets. Like, that's kind of how I see Hamidi, and just kind of being able to take the opponent's top line and totally all together. Number 36 here, Dayton Perrault. I think he's undervalued a bit because he's just really unselfish with the puck. He's perfectly content making the simple plays, getting the puck on the forward stick and just letting them go to work. But his skating ability is incredible. Like, he's really capable of blowing past people and using his speed and really opening it up. There's nothing wrong with the simple plays. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love that out of defensemen. But when he's that top end ability and he's got that next gear, okay, now I want to see what you can really do. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. You just got to kind of pick your spots and make something special happen there. Number 35, real quick, Colin Preston was awesome last year for Trenton. Loved every time I watched him, he was great. He makes a lot of good things happen in the game with and without the puck, especially on the power play, on the penalty kill. He's just a guy who really gets shit done when he's on the ice. Number 34, actually staying in the MIHL, Alex Ceratano won me over with his play at the CCM Detroit tournament there back in October. He was great in all three zones, moved his feet a ton. He was making plays. Seems like as the game got faster, he got better, which is something not many can do. So here we go. We go into the 20s. We're getting down to it here. I don't think I'm making pretty good time here. 20 minutes or so. Here we go. There we go. Into the 20s. Home stretch. A couple junior defensemen that I got to point out here. Number 29, Jacob Spitz. As a sophomore, it just felt like this kid was always on the ice for Grosse Pointe South. They've got a lot of top end forwards this year too. I don't want to overlook that. I just think his value to the team on the back end is huge because, like I said, he's just constantly on the ice and impacting the game. Another junior, as I mentioned, number 25, Jack Sexsmith. Tons of potential here. Saw a huge spike in his development over the last 12 months. He has a big frame. He's cool with the puck. He doesn't try to overdo it. Very much plays within himself and is really on a really good trajectory here moving forward. Number 22, Tyler Lawrence. Another one that has come a long way in the last year. A scout actually described him to me as a true forward. Just that he plays an honest game. He doesn't try to cheat for offense or anything like that. He keeps that up. He could see some good looks here from the next level if he keeps that up. So, in number 21, Chris Wozniak here. He doesn't know it, but I owe this kid an apology for sure. He's the epitome of why you don't judge a book by its cover. He's listed at a pretty generous 5'10", but his game is huge. He absolutely battles. Do not sleep on this kid because he makes some unreal saves that'll leave you scratching your head how that didn't go in. Truly fun to watch. So here we go into the teens. Getting down to it. Come on. There we go. There's just so many good players here. I wish I could talk about all 100 of them, but there's some high-end guys here. Number 20, Ethan Houck. Ethan Houck? I hope that's right. He had a great junior year, and I think the last month of the season last year was probably his best hockey. He ended on a high note, and after a really good offseason too, I think he could continue on that trajectory and really be the guy for Saginaw Heritage this year. Number 19, Will Dawson. Had a scout tell me he could play anywhere in your lineup at the next level. And, he could play top six. He could play bottom six. He could be a skill guy, a checking guy, could be on your power play, could be on your penalty kill. Whatever your need is, he could fill it. So pretty big words there. Number 16, Quentin Gove. In my mind, hands down, the best left-handed defenseman in the class of 2021. I know that's a little obscure, but I'll explain. There's a ton of awesome righties, like a lot of good right-handed defensemen. But when it comes to lefties, Gove, I don't want to say he's it, but he's definitely the top guy in my book. He's really good without the puck. I think he maintains positioning well in the D zone, and on defense, the lefty-righty thing really matters. So I think instances at the next level, people could be looking for a lefty defenseman, a righty defenseman. And so, yeah, that's why to me, I think he's the best left-handed defenseman on this list. Number 15, Counter Dvorak right here. Some people might think I'm crazy, but I don't care. In my opinion, he's the best player in the class of 2022. He's my highest rated junior, and for a good reason. Every time he was on the ice this fall, his game jumped out at me. I was pretty aware of him late last year, and then seeing him in the MDHL and how well he performed and how well he competed really cemented it for me. Playing against some of the best kids in that league, and all he did was make plays. Literally every time he was on the ice, offensively, defensively, grit plays, skill plays. I don't care where he plays. If he's effective and he has this great of a motor, man, keep it up. Because I think you got a bright future there, buddy. Really, really exciting. Number 13, Andrew Larson. Just a right place, right time. I think some people might call it luck if you want, but when it happens as often as it does for Andrew Larson, I credit his hockey senses. Just has a good feel and flow for the game. Good feel for the flow of the game. I'm going to correct myself there. Last one here before we get into the top 10. Number 11, Trevor Davis. Stop me if you've heard this before. Big, skilled defenseman from the West Side. I swear to God, I say this every year, every freaking year. Ashton Bowl, Anthony Malika, Kavanaugh Kane, David Brazil, like, I don't know, something in the water over there, I guess. But Davis is a pretty decorated prospect. He's seen a lot, played at a pretty high level for a long time too. Plenty of junior interest next year. I'm excited to see where he goes moving forward. So, all right, go. You guys ready? Here, real quick, just real quick. I just need a drink here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. We ready? You sure? I got 10 names left. All right, here we go. Number 10. Oh, the anticipation. There we go. Number 10, Brendan Quick. I think that's how it's pronounced. If it's wrong, I'll just call you Brendan. How's that? CC is a different team this year. They've got a ton of really good, very evenly skilled guys up front. I had a couple on this list even, and a couple that I don't. Plus a fistful of newcomers coming too. So to me, I see Quick leading the bunch because of the small details of his game. He stops and starts on pucks, a big impact on scrums and puck battles, and he's a playmaker. Makes some good things happen when he has the puck on his stick. If I can have one and only one kid off of CC this year, I'll go with Quick. But I know Coach Brandon Kalnicki has a lot of talent at his disposal this year too. So here we go. Number nine. Brendan Finn. If this was Petey's personal favorites list, Brendan Finn would be number one, easy. People probably think we're cousins or something because I obsess over the way this kid plays the game. He may not always be the prettiest, right? Like the toe drags and the dipsy doos, and I think he's capable of it. I just don't think that's his game. That's not his style. He's a bull in a china shop, man, and he just gets shit done, period. Coaches say it all the time, keep your feet moving throughout your entire shift. Well, this kid actually does it. And one of a handful of kids in the state, I think, that can truly, truly say that. He's a buzzsaw that I could potentially see in the NA next year, or a shot at the NA next year. Here we go. And plus, the helmet stripes, can I go back? Yes. The helmet stripes in hockey are awesome. We did it when I was at Stevenson. I think these are so freaking cool. I wish people would do more of it. Arizona State with the trident on the side. I love it. So Lake Orion was really the first hockey team in Michigan that I saw do it. I love it. So even more reason here. Here we go. All right, we'll keep moving. That was a side tangent. Here we go. We good? There we go. Number 8. Was talking about the NA with Finn there as a possibility. Nick Justice here was actually recently tendered with, I believe, the El Paso Rhinos in the NAHL. So congrats to Nick. Very well deserved. He was Dream Team last year as a junior. He's big. He's fast. He's smart. He's got a shot. He plays with pace. Did I mention he's big? He's got all the intangibles really to play at a very high level. I think his biggest competition is actually himself. I think sometimes he can grip the stick a little too tight and maybe forces the issue when he doesn't need to, which I think is pretty common amongst offensive defensemen, and kind of finding that balance. Showed some really good moments in the MDHL of being able to manage that balance as well. And when he's cool, calm, and collected, and lets the game come to him, the sky is the limit for Justice. Here we go. And another helmet stripe. Love it. Awesome. All right, here we go. Number 7, we go to the UP, baby. Austin Solani. I lost my notes on him from last year, so this is all kind of off the top of the dome. I know Hancock as a whole had a pretty challenging season last year, but I just always felt like Solani was still able to dictate major moments throughout the course of a game. Blocking shots or getting a big defensive clear, creating odd man rushes, obviously producing offense as well. The UP is just different, people. If you don't know, now you know. They play fast, they play hard, they play mean up there, and Solani is all of that with some solid skill and good pace to his game too. Here we go. Number 6, Adam Patilla. Excellent puck skills. He just looks comfortable to me in all 3 zones. Between him and Larson, they've got great flow and good feel for the game. Plus, you throw in Seth Ferguson off of Heartland, who I had at number 38. That may be your best line in the entire state for Rick Gadwa there. Patilla, another one with an NA tender already. He signed with Bismarck, and for good reason. People tell me his game translates super well to that level, and hopefully he continues on that development path and shows well in the future. Here we go. What are we doing? 135. All right, let's go, people. You guys like this? Maybe we'll keep it up. We'll do, we'll do weeklies or bi-weeklies. You guys send me highlights or something. Maybe we do a top 5 plays or top 10 plays, and maybe we can do some cool interviews with players and coaches and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, man, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Top 5. Number 5. How many times I got to hit the space bar here? There we go. Dean Locus. We go back to the UP. I have no idea how many Locuses there are for the Copper Kings, but they just keep coming. Dean, he's been there for all 4 years. He's put up fantastic numbers throughout his entire career. I called him the silent assassin in the print version of the Top 100. Which I'll put out tomorrow morning. So you guys can read that, check that out as well. Just maybe a little bit more elaborate, and actually talks about every single player in the top 100, not just the couple that I've highlighted here tonight. He's like a shark. He's just so unassuming, waiting in the water, and then bam, you're done. You think you've got a play, or you think you got an opening, or you can keep him to the outside, and then, before you can blink, he's cut to the middle and he snapped a wrister over your goalie's shoulder, like that quick. He doesn't need much space to make a big play and make something happen. If I don't do something soon, my battery's going to die. All right, here we go. Charger, boom. Wouldn't that be brutal? What if my battery died right before number 1? Oh, all right, here we go. Number 4. Leighton Stenn. Leighton, truth be told, I'll get into it, but Leighton Stenn, capable of doing it all, smart enough not to. Think about that for a second. Let that resonate. I think a lot of defensemen struggle with this, but Stenn totally excels at it. Like, he just gets it. Just because you can rush the puck and get involved in the offense doesn't mean you need to force the issue to get involved. He's so smart about picking his spots. He knows when he knows what plays he can and can't make in a given situation. And to me, that ability alone, will take him to impressive heights. He's tendered with the Aberdeen Wings, which is an organization that has regularly plucked top talent from the state of Michigan. So I really think he'll do fantastic things at the next level. Here we go. Number 3. One more Aberdeen Wings signee, actually, with Brendan Hurd here. He plays with an edge. He has a lot of F game, as many scouts say. I'll let you figure out what the FU stands for. He makes some really, really smart plays that I just don't think other 18-year-olds make at this level. He's very impressive skill set. Like I said, he's mean on the ice too. He's not taking shit from anyone, which you need to a certain extent at the next level. But there's a fine line there too. You got to find a good mix of the two there. Here we go. Number 2, Lucas Kroll out of Country Day. Another guy who I thought was playing some of his best hockey the last month of the season last year, and maybe even the best player on a very talented Country Day team last year. Then he had an amazing fall with MHA too. I mean, I have him at number 2, but really I think you could take any one of these kids in the top 10 and make a case for him. There's a ton of smoke around him with junior hockey next year, and when you buzz like him, when you win puck battles like him, you get your nose dirty and you move your feet up and down the ice like him, you'll attract some heat from scouts as well. So here we go. The number 1 player in high school hockey. Can we get a drum roll? Anybody got a drum roll? Sean Flynn, this is getting out of hand. What do you mean it's getting out of hand? Out of hand in a great way or out of hand in a bad way? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Here we go. Number 1. Everybody ready for this? Max Marquette out of UD Jesuit. Here we go. So towards the end of last season, I was actually talking with a scout and, where we'd be 12 months from then. Obviously never could have imagined we'd be where we are now. But we were talking about who the big prospects would be for the 2021 season. And, we talked about Stenman, we talked about Justice and Hurd, probably being tendered by this time. But then after that, it was, but then who? Then who's next? And my answer pretty quickly was Max Marquette. He was absolutely among some of the top juniors last year, I thought. And after what I saw this offseason, it only furthered my thoughts and really cemented him, to me, as the top prospect returning from last season. He's explosive and, gets to his top speed in a stride or two, like that explosive. It's very rare at this level. Puck skills, hockey IQ, he sets the pace with defenders, and they have to try and keep up with his intensity, not the other way around. So really dictates the pace of play. Someone told me Marquette, Kroll, and Brendan Finn all played on the same youth team growing up. And then they played on a line together at MHA. I need someone out there to confirm for me, because if that's true, who was their coach? Because he deserves a major shout out here. Like, these kids have been coached very well, and not just at the high school level, but throughout their careers. So hats off to that guy. Nonetheless, Max Marquette tops my list of 100 players returning to high school hockey for 2021. So who did I miss? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, a lot of names, a lot of players. At PDsPicks _ on Twitter, at PDs.picks on Instagram. DMs are always open if you guys want to talk about the list or anything related to high school hockey. Couple final notes. Same as I said last year. If you're on this list, congratulations. Now go earn it. You know, if you're high on this list, go earn it. If you think you're too low on this list, go earn it. Not on the list at all and think you should be, go earn it. I used a great quote from Robert California on The Office. It's a very unusual source of inspirational quotes. I get it, but it's true. If you're on this list, prove me right. If you're not on this list, prove me wrong. What I do for high school hockey has never been about being right or wrong. I don't keep track of my hot takes I've hit or missed on. I don't root against kids not to make it. To me, it's always been about promoting a game I love, a pathway I believe in, awesomely talented players, coaches, and teams that I see on a regular basis at the high school level. So, yeah. Also, this was my message to our guys last week, just with us getting back on the ice and potentially, knock on wood, getting back into the swing of things here. The season got put on pause on November 15th, and we lost 61 days of our season outside of our control. Extenuating circumstances took that from us, and we'll never get it back. On Saturday, we were allowed to return to the rinks in some capacity. It may not be the way we wanted it, but we are back. We are on the ice, and we get to be proactive and get to do part of what we love to do here in the game of hockey. We should have 58 days left from that first practice on Saturday over the weekend to the first round of the MHSAA playoffs. Don't take any more days away from yourself. Now it's in your hands, right? You control how many games you have left. By wearing a mask, distancing from your teammates, on and off the ice. Be smart about what you as an individual and as a team. I want all of us to see every single day of those 58 we have left. Like, I don't want anyone to have to go into quarantine or cancel games or shut down practices because something happens, right? We couldn't control the last 61 days, but we can control the next 58. My goal is to go to the rink for every single one of those 58 days, safely, masked, distanced, and healthy. I hope you're all with me as well. So thank you for joining me tonight. This has been crazy. I think it got up to almost 150. That blows me away. If there's enough interest, we'll keep doing things like this. We'll interview coaches, players. We'll do video highlights, breakdowns, coaching tips, anything that you guys want to do. I'm all for it. I'm excited. Looking forward to doing more of this. Have a great night. Skate hard and have fun. We'll see you guys.